Now at 4:30, tensions high overseas as fighting between Israel and Hamas continues. Most recently, an Israeli airstrike that killed 7 aid workers delivering food to civilians in Gaza has prompted global outrage. Welcome back at 4:30, everyone. I'm Tamara Sacharczyk. The Israeli military says it's investigating, and the top general has apologized for the mistake. So here to talk about the incident in the fighting tonight is Rhode Island Senator Jack Reed. He came all the way from Washington for us during his recess here. So Senator Reed, thank you for being here, first of all. Now, the White House issued a statement saying that they want Israel to do more to prevent civilian deaths, and clearly more needs to be done. Is Israel doing enough, in your opinion? You have expertise in this.
No, it's not. I think we're all shocked and saddened by the death of these brave men and women who were trying to deliver food, much of it to women and children. I have been personally, through the ambassador and through other people, urging Israel to be much more precise in their strikes, to be very careful in what they do, because they do not want to lose the trust and confidence of the world. Israel was savagely attacked by Hamas, who will, if they could, would destroy the Israeli state and the Jewish people. We can't allow that. But we also have to convince the Israelis that they have to be restrained. It'll take time to defeat Hamas, but they have to do it without unnecessary casualties and providing humanitarian assistance to the Palestinians.
We have provided a ton of assistance to Israel. The Biden administration is close to approving the sale of 50 F-15 fighter jets to Israel right now. Congress, of course, would have to authorize that. Is that directly supporting the violence going on in Gaza?
Well, our support to the IDF has been consistent over many years, and it's appropriate because they are surrounded by forces, Iranian surrogates, Hezbollah, et cetera, that would, if they could, overwhelm Israel. We cannot allow that.
But is it appropriate right now when all of these civilians are getting killed?
Well, what we have to do, and what we're trying to do, is get humanitarian assistance into Gaza, and we need more cooperation from the Israelis. We are setting up a sea lift from Cyprus to Israel. We need the Israelis to help work with us and with humanitarian groups to distribute this food in Gaza.
Do you think humanitarian groups will be weary to go there now after seeing that 7 of these aid workers just got killed?
I think you're exactly right. That's why Israel has to step up, and the president pointed this out, and creates mechanisms that will protect and coordinate with the IDF. The IDF was aware of this convoy. It was coordinated with the Israeli Defense Forces, so they should have known. All the vehicles were marked, and they, I think, was a terrible problem in their chain of command. They did not exercise appropriate control of their own forces. They have to do much better.
So, a chain of command issue, and speaking of that, I mean, protesters in Israel have called for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to step down. They want an election. The White House has also said that they're kind of frustrated with him right now, and you never hear that with our relations with Israel. Is it his time to go?
I've stated publicly that it's appropriate that Prime Minister Netanyahu step down or a new election be called. I also think it's appropriate and timely that Abbas, the leader of the Palestinian Authority, steps down. He is not an effective leader, and therefore Israel really doesn't have anyone to negotiate with. But too much of this, I think, is revolving around Prime Minister Netanyahu's personal stakes in this effort, rather than strictly sacrificing all you can for the state of Israel.
And we're seeing what's happening as a result of that. You just mentioned negotiations. We have new video of hostages, family members storming an Israeli branch of government. You may have seen this. So part of the frustration with Netanyahu is over the hostage negotiations, of course. Where do talks stand? Has there been any movement at this point? Because I feel like, you know, we don't even really know how many hostages are left, if this is even a real conversation. We're just seeing these innocent civilians get killed, and we're not seeing too much movement on, you know, the real issue here.
Well, there is constant effort to try to do this. There is collaboration between the United States, the Qatari government, Israel, on an almost daily basis to see if we can initiate talks with Hamas. But Hamas is not going to deal in good faith. And this is a difficult issue. I will not, this is not Netanyahu's fault. He's dealing with people that have a conscious stake in keeping these hostages, and then he has to respond to families that desperately want their loved ones back. So the best hope is that through international auspices, the United States, the Qataris, the Egyptians, the whole world community, that we can put enough pressure on Hamas to release those hostages so they'll be safe. But we're dealing, again, with Hamas, with a diabolical group of people who are fanatics. And it's very difficult to negotiate with those types of people.
Yeah, you can definitely understand the family's frustration, though, when they have loved ones in the middle of all of this.
I was in Israel about 7 days after the attack. This whole attack has been so traumatized, not just to the Israelis, but the Jewish community across the globe. It just brings up memories of a very dark and terrible past. And so you can understand the agony that the people of Israel are going through and the Jewish people, and that has to be considered. And these hostages, we pray, and that's what you can do, that they are released, but it's going to take a lot of effort because, again, you're dealing with Hamas, who are not at all sympathetic to the welfare of even the Palestinian people.
All right, Senator Reid. Well, the world is certainly watching. Thank you for joining us today and providing us with your insight. We appreciate it. You can